Okay. Please take your seats. Yeah. Okay. Okay, welcome everybody. Can you hear me? Is this working? Yes, I'm reassured by my technical team. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming, especially as some of you may have enjoyed some difficulties with the transport system due to industrial action, but you all managed to overcome the obstacles and arrive here. And it's a very good showing, and we're absolutely delighted that so many people could make it, and from all over the world, really. I didn't, last time I counted, there were about 26 nations here. In your welcome pack, you will find that there's a list of attendees as well as the program. Naturally, I'd like to say a few words to just thank the sponsors of the event, without whom this wouldn't be possible. So, FIDE, European Chess Union, Chess and Schools and Communities, English Chess Federations, Chess.com, Chessable, Chess Manager, Gamehead Consulting. Start shouting out if I miss somebody, and so on. So I'm absolutely delighted, and your contribution has been recognised by hopefully your logo appearing on our website. This conference, I think, happens really the first time we've had it in person since 2019. And so I detect a lot of enthusiasm for meeting together again. And also, I note that there's a coming together of the chess world, if you like, and FIDE, which is the International Chess Federation, and European Chess Union are working very closely together to support this event, and they are cooperating at all levels, which is a marvelous development, I think, and a lot of tribute must be paid to Dana, who's sitting here, who's the chief executive of FIDE, and so I think we'll hear a lot more during the day about. We have speakers from FIDE and from ECU here. So this conference is about chess and STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And why we have this conference is because we, in this room, believe that chess has a lot more to offer than a kind of hobby game or even as a competitive esport. We think that chess can make a substantial contribution in education. And what needs to happen is for us to continue to develop methods, programs, materials for the use by teachers, which will enable them to actually deliver those benefits which chess can offer. If this means that we have to change chess a little bit, deconstruct chess, simplify chess, reinvent chess, then I think so be it. And that's one of the interesting things that we've heard from most of our speakers about all the different things that you can do with chess. In terms of the practicalities, I mean, what this conference is about is essentially meeting other people. So whilst there is an impressive array of speakers, what we really want to do is for you to meet at the breaks, lunch, the social occasions of the evenings, from which I'm still recovering. This picture here is me teaching in struggling to hold my own as a child, probably, and so it's what I do as well. I learn so much from children. I learn, everything I know from the children, and And children love technology. I mean, they're playing on a logic board, and actually sometimes it's difficult to get them to play on a physical board because they're so desperately keen to move pieces around on the big board, interactive big board. So I think this is a trend. Of course, they can use iPads and so forth, but they do like to use big objects as well. And I mean, honestly, there'll be a health and safety issue about children falling off the board because they're so small and the boards are so big. But whilst I'm, of course, interested in what they're learning from a cognitive point of view, schools tend to be more interested in behavior and values. And so here's a very nice apology letter from one of the girls. I'm very sorry for being disrupted in chess club from Florence. See, we're very strict here. I think Florence did something like she took all the pieces out of the chess boxes and put books in there instead. You know, that was a real no-no for our chess club. So she was suitably chastised and expressed her sorrow. And then you can spend a whole year, teaching children, and at the end, they draw you a little picture. And I'm quite impressed by their chessboard, actually, because they've got the board the right way around, and the index is the right way around. So I don't know what the symbolism of the other aspects are. But what their final words to me after all this effort? Goodbye. That's it. So perhaps one day in the future, I will see these children, and they'll be, doctors or lawyers or investment bankers, and or artists, musicians, or just doing their own thing. And they'll look back on their chess time and they think, if it wasn't for chess, I wouldn't be doing this. Possibly, who knows? So that's just kind of an observation on that. And while I'm here, I ought to, in a bout of shameless self-promotion, I've written a book called Checkmate, and it's not available here, only in the USA. It's from a publisher called Scholastic, who approached me to write a book. And I tested the book out by showing it to the girls, and I was very pleased that they kind of dove straight into it. And then when I took it off them, they said, "Why are you taking the book off me?" I said, "We can't sell it to you, I'm afraid, in England. It's only in America." So the Americans somehow have managed to be first, as usual, in this. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of that. So back to, maybe I'll put a nice picture. So we've got a photographer here. If you don't want your photograph taken, please could you let the photographer know, and he will comply. He's at the back. His name is John. And I've written a note down here as the final point, which of course I can't read. But I think there's a rugby match on today, England versus Ireland, and it's an important rugby match. Unfortunately, we won't be able to live stream it, but it might be more interesting. I don't know. Okay, so we have a great program today, and I'm now, I think, just going to step aside, and next speaker is going to be
Arkady Dvorkovich.
Yeah. Now, next speaker is going to be the president of the International Chess Federation, who has prepared a talk for us. So I'll step aside.
Thank you, John.
For business, on behalf of all the participants and organizers of Parliament Chess Conference. This year has a record number of active participation, and we do believe that it is not just due to the fact that we missed last year, but also due to the increased interest in chess all around the world. Both players and people who are thinking how to improve society, how to improve skills of people using chess in education in different ways.
Good.
Business on behalf of FIDE, all the participants and organizers of Parliament Chess Conference. This year has a record number of active participation, and we do believe that it is not just due to the fact that we missed last year, but also due to the increased interest in chess all around the world. Both players and people who are thinking how to improve societies, how to improve skills of people using chess in education in different ways. In FIDE, we run a number of programs that should give a momentum to educational chess, in particular chess in schools. But this year, we will focus at the conference on preschool teaching, and FIDE will sponsor a special section devoted to preschool teaching. Other 2 days will be devoted to chess in STEM. In FIDE, we decided to include educational chess in our long-term strategy, and we are very ambitious about our targets. First of all, I would like to at least double the number of kids involved in school education that involves chess. And we believe that it should cover all continents, the whole world. Of course, some countries are more developed, some are less developed, but we do need to give access to chess for all kids, all school students all around the world. To do that, we need to double the number of teachers who teach kids to at least 200,000 globally. And this is a very ambitious figure. To do that, we develop new courses. A new curriculum will be ready by the end of April, and it will be available to teachers in all countries. Also, we will continue using our resources of our Educational Commission to train those people who will teach the teachers. It's a track that is critically important for us. Educational chess is beneficial by itself. It improves skills of kids. It improves understanding of links in the society, respect for rules, and many other things. But also it creates the basis for the development of chess itself. It's a foundation that allows us to find new talents who will compete at the global level. And we will continue running programs that improve talents and professional skills of young boys and girls all around the world. We do believe that London Chess Conference, the flagship event, will play its role in spreading best practices, spreading knowledge about how to do all those things. And FIDE will support also other expert conferences, panels, discussions, different fora to involve as many people as possible in different languages from different cultures. And we hope that the London Chess Conference will participate in those events as well. So good luck to all of you. I hope you will enjoy this year's conference. And even on distance, I feel that you're really passionate about bringing chess to education.
Okay, that is Arkady Dvorkovich.
Okay, before the next talk, I've just remembered what I said on that piece of paper. We have got, as part of the kind of allowing people to get to know each other and share information, we have 2 boardrooms here. And at those boardrooms, if you've got some software you want to show, if you want some issue you want to discuss, you can book a boardroom for half an hour, for an hour, whatever, and you can have your meeting there. So just go to the reception desk and just register and take one of the rooms. So I know a lot of you have got things to show or talk about. So do take advantage of that. Okay. Now the next speaker is Jesper. He'll tell you why he's not here. But he's the chairman of the Educational Commission of the European Chess Union.
Hello everyone, this is Jesper Bergmark. I am the chairman of ECU Education. Unfortunately, I cannot be with you in London due to other obligations, but this is a shame because I do not have the chance to meet you. And normally this gives me the inspiration of the full year. Here I have the chance to listen to other burning souls for chess and education, presentations, discussions, and not the least the chit chat. You know, in between the pauses, when you have dinner and so on, take the chance to speak to each other, share your ideas, because I can tell you that during these days in London, normally I get the best ideas that can be used for the rest of the year. It really looks good for chess education these days. And one thing is that we have a new leadership in FIDE education that comes in with a lot of energy. And now ECU education and FIDE education has got a lot of cooperation. Not the least when it comes to training courses, we are trying to find the best way forward. But also we are planning to present a new research database with all research ever done on chess. This will be presented before summer. The research will be ranked, will be analyzed, so that you can go in and find the best arguments why chess should be used in schools. Then we also have created a development team for chess in education. The idea is that we go into a country and we support them, coach them, and try to build up a structure for chess in school over time so that it will be really set in the country, and we come in with our knowledge and also our support. This conference is about STEM. Personally, I believe that this is a very important route forward for chess in education. During the last 3 years, I've been working with chess and coding and chess and artificial intelligence, and we have created both a platform and a full setup of lessons and so on inside the CGS project and other Erasmus Plus projects. I know that Rolf Niemann and Paolo Sartorelli will tell you more about that later, but I really believe that with this, we start to solve a problem for the schools, and this can be a game changer for chess and education, because not only we give social interaction, we give a fun pedagogic tool, but actually now they are fulfilling their school plans through what we do. Finally, I just want to say, don't forget to have fun. This is your chance to meet all the other lovely persons working with chess in schools. Take the chance. Bye.
Yes, so Jesper can't be here because he's with Magnus in Oslo, and we're about to see what they're up to.
Hello, I'm Magnus. I'm here at a talent program, a camp for youth here in Norway, trying to teach some of my tricks. I wish you all the best. I think chess in schools is a great initiative and benefiting for children all around the world. So best of luck.
And I can reveal that immediately after saying that he went skiing. So. Yeah. Okay. So Unfortunately, Malcolm Pein is chief executive of the Chess and Schools and Communities, has been detained by traffic from North London, which is more difficult to get from than America probably. And so I'd like now to introduce the new chair of the FIDE's Educational Commission, Jerry Nash from the United States. Jerry has been a noted figure in the world of chess in education for many, many years, and has done a lot of, I think, a lot of great work in connecting people together and in pushing forward the educational approach of chess. And so we were delighted when he was appointed to this role, because we know Jerry well. He's often attended the London Chess Conference, and we're sure that chess and education is safe under his stewardship. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you very much. Before I get started, I have some introductions to make. First of all, my wife, Ruth, if you will stand. thinking, we typically think of pattern recognition, analysis, and making decisions. But what we're doing from an educational chess standpoint is we're bringing these skills to teachers so that they can use this tool to teach higher order thinking, critical thinking, scientific method in their classroom. We're giving them a tool that they may not have had before. So having said all that, we're going to talk about one particular critical thinking skill. Now, again, if we had several hours, we could talk about several, but we're just going to talk about one. I know I've put a chess diagram up in front of chess players. Some of you have already lost. The rest of you hang with me. So what do you see? Well, it depends. It depends on what patterns that you know. So for an advanced chess player, you've already solved it. It took you like 3 seconds. When I'm working with teachers, this could be a 30-minute process, because for some beginning teachers, they would look at this and simply see a random selection of chess pieces scattered across a chessboard. That's all they would see. An advanced player who, again, might be a second grader, but they're still advanced, but they understand the patterns that they're looking at. So what do you see? It depends. It depends on what patterns that you already know. And so from a chess standpoint, we're looking at, if you're a decent player, which, okay, that would be better than me. If it's black's move, you've already seen a mate in 1. If it's white's move, you've seen a 4. But you saw that because you understood the visual cues which lead to the conceptual cues. And the visual cues are, where are the pieces located? Where are they located in relationship to each other? How do they move? And then those lead to the conceptual cues, such as checkmate and forks or double attacks. So the visual cues lead to conceptual cues. Again, big picture, we're talking about observation and pattern recognition. This is a critical thinking skill. We're using chess to teach that. And so when we're using chess to teach that, we're not going to leave it at the chessboard, because from a classroom teacher's perspective, their question would probably be, so what? So what you can solve a chess problem? What does this have to do with what I do in a classroom? And so we talk about beyond the board applications. So for example, a teacher might have introduced that lesson, talked about pattern recognition, and now they're talking about patterns in life. What patterns help you to get to school each day? What patterns of behavior are helpful or harmful? Now, from a chess coach perspective, they would say, why would you be talking about that? What does that have to do with winning a tournament? Well, that's part of the difference between competitive chess and educational chess, is because when, from a teacher's perspective, many of their students live in chaos. Every single day is chaotic. They do not see patterns in their lives. And so the chessboard is an opportunity for them to focus, learn the idea, the concept of pattern recognition, and then we make beyond the board applications of patterns in life, patterns in the classroom, in the hallway, at home, patterns in other subjects. Because I will tell you, and I'm not a math teacher, I taught English and French back in the day, but I know enough about math that if you can't add 1 + 2, 1 + 3, 1 + 4, if you can't figure out that pattern, you're not going to the next stage of mathematical development. So there are patterns in every aspect of learning, not the least of which are the STEM courses. So we're teaching this pattern recognition. So so that's one example that, we could, again, spend hours on other aspects of critical thinking. But now I want to talk about scientific method in particular, because again, this conference is about STEM. And I want to talk from 2 perspectives. One is simply how we do problem solving. And this will be probably most familiar to those of you who are coaches, and strictly about chess, because it's the pattern when we're solving a tactical problem. We go through a similar process, but we might not realize that what we're doing is actually mimicking the scientific method. So again, I know I've lost some of you already. Solve it, come back to me. So if you were going through this process with students, you might not ask it exactly like this, but you would be approximating, what do you predict is the answer? Now, here's the difference between a chess coach and a teacher. From a chess coach perspective, nope, not the right answer. Nope, not the right answer. Keep looking. Keep looking. Nope, not the right answer. From a teacher's perspective, though, they're not interested in just the correct answer. They're interested in the process of how they got to the answer. So part of what a teacher would then ask, not only what do you predict is the answer, why? How did you arrive at that conclusion? How did you get to there? Now let's see if it works. We're going to test the hypotheses. Did it work? If not, why didn't it work? If it did work, why did it work? Or are there alternatives? So what we're doing in just the normal process of solving a tactical problem or some other problem on the chessboard, we are imitating the scientific method that they will need that process when they go into other STEM subjects. But there's another aspect in that we're making deliberate connections. So we're not just stopping at the chessboard, we're helping them to understand this process that we went through to solve this problem. This is what we're going to be using in science class or math class or whatever other class that we're talking about. Now, this activity, and this is by far, as we saw yesterday, there are a lot of approaches of teaching chess, and we'll hear more of them this weekend. But this is a prediction activity which mirrors the scientific method. So we're going to talk about evaluation, prediction, explanation, and reflection. By the way, as you can see by the diagram, this is not a full game of chess. By the way, for many teachers, if you talk about chess in the classroom, they are envisioning a 2-hour game of chess, and they're thinking, on God's green earth, there's no one that has that kind of time. And so what we have to help them understand is, no, you don't have to play an entire game of chess. There are all kinds of mini games and shorter versions that you can do in 10, 15, 20 minutes maximum, and you can still teach these skills. So this activity, of course, those of you who are chess players, you know what this is. For those that are not necessarily, the goal from the white side is to get as many pawns across to the other side of the board as possible. If they reach the 8th rank, then they're safe. Of course, the person who's playing the bishop, the black piece, their goal is to try to capture as many. So here's how the activity works. First of all, there's an evaluation process. This is nonverbal. And so they're looking at it, and from the white side, how many do I think I can get across? How many do I think I can? From the black side, they're doing the same thing, but this is the nonverbal part. Then the written part is the prediction. So if I'm playing the white side, I'm predicting how many pawns will I get across. I'm writing that down. But then I can't just pull a number out of the air. There has to be an explanation. Why do I think I can get that many across? So I have to write that down in terms of the strategy. I'm going to use this strategy to get this many pawns across. Okay, so we've got the evaluation, we've got the prediction, we've got the explanation. This is why I think I can do that. Then we actually test the hypothesis. They play the game. Then after the game, there is the period of reflection. And I recommend, this can just be oral, but I recommend that it be both written and oral. So they write down how many pawns did you get across. And again, from the black side, how many pawns did you capture? But then they're making that comparison. I predicted I would get 6. I got 3. So how does that compare with what I predicted? What is it that didn't work? And then what did I learn from that? So there's this period of reflection. Again, we are mirroring the scientific method. Now, we can then extend this activity. So, for example, we could replace the bishop with another piece, a rook, a knight, whatever, and then we can compare and contrast. What was the different strategies? How is it different, and how is it similar to that other piece? So again, not only are we teaching scientific method, but we're also teaching higher order thinking, comparing and contrasting. Then there's another aspect in terms of extension of the reflection. So for example, you could ask them, what did you learn? But then you can also ask, What did you learn from listening to the reflections of others? What did you learn from them? By the way, this is a critical skill that goes in any classroom. You need to be able to learn from others. And then, of course, you can also extend it by having them to do writing and presentation activities. So where they're presenting to the rest of the class or to other teachers. So these are extension activities that you can use. And again, backing out big picture, in this activity and activities like this, we are mirroring the scientific method that they will need in those other classes. These are simply practical ways of using chess to get there. Why do we use chess and not tiddlywinks? Well, one, because chess is probably a bit more engaging. It's more complex. You will not, you'll not exhaust that. And as has been pointed out, the interest in chess has never been higher for a lot of reasons, but also the interest from educators about using chess in the classroom has never been higher. So we're taking advantage of that. We're using chess as the vehicle to teach these skills. Now, if we want to make the case to educators that chess is an educational tool, three things. First of all, we need to demonstrate the deliberate connections. We cannot just say, well, chess is good for thinking. We need to be able to demonstrate those deliberate connections. Second, we need to practice the methodology when we're teaching. Even if you're normally just a chess coach in an after-school program, you still have stakeholders that are observing. And so you need to use some of this methodology so that they can understand, here's what's happening in those students' minds when we're going through this. And finally, if you're doing teacher training, you need to incorporate these deliberate connections into your teacher training so that we don't just say, well, here's chess, good luck with that. No, we help them to make those connections. Now, hopefully, I've made at least a decent case to you, and some of you were already, but hopefully I've made a decent case for you that we can use chess to teach critical thinking and scientific method, which, of course, critical thinking skills are foundational for all STEM subjects. But here's the key. Chess has so much more to offer. And in the course, well, yesterday, we saw some terrific presentations about different methodologies of using chess. Throughout this weekend, we'll hear even more. Other ideas will be shared in the break room. We live in an exciting time in the field of chess and education, both in terms of research and methodologies, and the community is coming together. As I said earlier, I have a privilege of working with leaders from around the world who are passionate about chess as an educational tool. Why are they passionate? Because at the end of the day, we have observed firsthand the changes in the lives of students who have learned these skills. I tell this to a lot of audiences. One reason I do what I do is because I spent about 20 years working with university students in counseling situations. And I watched them make life-changing decisions that were horrendous. All the while, they thought they were thinking it through. And I'm listening to them thinking, on what planet is that logical? And they're making, and I know you're shocked that college students make poor decisions. I know you're shocked by that, but it's true. So I'm, and then I'm coaching chess and I'm realizing, oh my gosh, my 4th and 5th graders can outthink them. And then it dawned on me, here are the skills that they're getting that they didn't. And that was the seed in the ground for me that we need to get this game to students so that they can start making better decisions earlier and not, after college, when in some cases, those are long-term decisions. So thank you for this opportunity to share. I hope I've convinced you at least a little bit, and hopefully you'll have some questions later on and you can stop me in the hallway. Thank you very much.
Alexey. Alexey. My namesake, please.
Yeah, so our next speaker is
Alexey Root. Alexey's an educator, chess player, and first came to our attention because of all the books that she has written, and they're on display actually in the stand for perusal. And many times we thought she might attend the conference, and finally Alexey has managed to make it over here. So welcome.
Sorry, just a quick question. Are we going to have access to all this presentation online?
It's
being recorded.
It is being streamed live. So if you go to the FIDE YouTube channel, you can.
It will be kept there online.
Yeah, it will be kept. Yeah.
Thank you.
This is not yeah. And that's not easy. Sorry, so have Alexey.
I can also use it.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Alexey Root. I'm glad to be here. For those who don't know me, I was 1989 U.S. Women's Chess Champion. I had a peak rating of 2260 in U.S. chess, and I'm a woman international master with FIDE. I also have a PhD in education from UCLA, and since 1999, I've been a lecturer at the University of Texas at Dallas. We don't have a American football team there, but we have one of the top college chess teams in the country. These are my 8 books. As previously mentioned, I think 2 of them are on display upstairs. And I'm here as part of the Chessable science team. My colleague, Carl Van Delft, is also here. And we have 4 initiatives that I want to talk about today. Chessable Research Awards, featured projects, research help, and blog. So let's start with the Chessable Research Awards. Undergraduate and graduate students, along with their faculty research sponsors, apply for new or ongoing chess research, 3 cycles per year. So 3 chances each year to apply. What are the goals? Chessable will be cited in peer-reviewed research because the award winners and their faculty research sponsors will write about their research. And for all of you, more chess research at universities worldwide, which raises the prestige of chess as an academic subject. So let me go back to that for a second. In terms of money, if you're an undergraduate winner, $500 for you, $500 for your faculty research sponsor. If you're a graduate student winner, $1,000 for you and $500 for your faculty research sponsor. So please let your university colleagues that you know, or if you're a student or faculty member yourself, please apply. We want to give money to have more chess research worldwide. Here's an example of one of our first winners, because we just started this. This is a graduate student. His project was using chess engines to make emergency rooms more efficient and to reduce wait times in emergency rooms. And this is an article that University of Buffalo put out in its news briefings. So as an example, it can be chess applied to any field. chess in English, chess in education, chess in biology. So whatever your field, we want to support you, and we hope you'll apply, and we hope you'll see the value of getting chess as a research topic. So a second initiative is our featured projects. One of the projects I want to talk about today is by Harvard University's Angela Lee. She's an undergraduate student, and Dr. Mark Glickman, who you may have heard of because of the Glicko rating system. So we funded him, and I'm going to talk in more detail about his project in a minute. We also have in-house projects run by Carl Van Delft. We did a survey of 501 people, Chessable chess and gender participation study, and he's also worked on reverse thinking, like you see the end position and you work your way back. And please talk to Carl about those initiatives as well. So the featured projects, some are outside of Chessable, like Dr. Glickman, and some are in-house. So I like to be an interactive presenter, and how many minutes do I have left? My timer is here.
5 minutes.
Perfect. I'm going to use 2 of those to let you talk to your neighbor about, are girls and women as good as boys and men at chess? And if not, why not? And please, after 2 minutes, let me know, and then I'll tell you the answer to this. But go ahead and talk to your neighbor for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Stand over. Oh, you're starting now. If I stand over here, it's more likely the camera's going to focus on this part of the room. That's the chat with the camera. I think. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's move on and find out. So, how many of you, by a show of hands, mentioned a participation gap, like fewer girls and women participating than boys and men? Anyone? Few people?
Yeah.
To explain a performance gap, like less participation means fewer women participation means fewer women at the top. So a few of you mentioned that. Wow. Now we've got 680,000 data points to support that. The Mark Glickman study I referred to earlier, this is one of the graphs from it, and hopefully soon chess.com will be publishing the blog of this Chessable research so that it gets lots of attention. Some of you I've already, I think Mike Klein, I may have already shared it with you, or Peter Doggers. Is Peter in the room? I don't know if he is, but I think I shared it internally in the company with some people. But this is an exciting study. 680,000 US chess members studied Actually, the study data goes from 1992, where the ratings were computerized, up to 2019. This is just one graph from their study from 2000 to 2010. But I don't know how well you can see it. But over here along the y-axis, it says average rating difference between males and females at start, and over here, average proportion of females at start. Now, there's a lot of, it's not too, you know, there's many data points, right? But can you kind of see a line? If you were to draw a line from these points, you can see that when there's 10% girls, the rating gap is big, like almost 225 points between the boys and the girls. But as you get more girls, like up to 30% girls, the rating gap has shrunk to maybe 100 rating points. So this, to me, says it's not biology. Because if you can, by the size of the girls, the number of girls in your group, if you can reduce the gap by having more girls, that means it's not biology. It's participation. And what he unfortunately could not study is 50%, because there weren't any clubs that were 50%. But if you could imagine clubs at 50% girls, maybe that ratings gap would disappear. Significant, I think. And it will be published in a peer-reviewed journal. So, but first we're going to get it on a Chessable blog. So keep in touch with me and be the first to read the study. Okay, on to our last initiatives, because I know I'm running out of time. Research help. We will give you research help. Contact us. We also write a blog. Every student who wins one of those $500 or $1,000 prizes writes a blog post. We also have guest bloggers. If you work for chess.com and play Magnus for chess.com, raise your hand. Yay, those are my colleagues now. We're all part of the chess.com. Chessable is part of chess.com. Thank you all for your support. And if you have questions, this is my contact information. Thank you.
How do we get access to that research help?
Can I answer the one question real quick? Yeah.
How do we get access to that research help you're talking about?
The 25-page report that Glickman did about this. We're going to be putting a blog out on chess.com, but if you email me, I'll make sure to send you that blog post. The report has been done, but there's been some other news in the chess world, and we didn't want it to get overshadowed because we feel this is very important. And we want to make sure when the blog comes out, or the article comes out, rather, on chess.com, that it gets the attention it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexey. And now I call on our next speaker, who is Alan. Alan. Where's Alan? Oh, Alan, there you are. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Alan, right. So just by way of intro, in the UK, we have a network of teachers of STEM subjects called STEM UK. And we asked STEM UK if they could suggest a speaker for this event. And here is Alan.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. You're my timekeeper, are you? Brilliant. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So thank you so much, John, for inviting me on behalf of the National STEM Learning Centre. I am a real teacher. I teach at elementary or primary school here in East London. I teach computer science, as you see from my job title. I teach children from as young as aged 4 all the way up to pre-university. I know it's a very strange and big mix. Let me tell you a little bit about my school. So I think it's important to, when we're talking about making chess relevant to a school community, you need to think about what that community has in terms of the families involved. So in East London, it's a really broad mix of people from across the world. increasingly over the time that I've been at the school, we've seen a change in the population from a community which doesn't have much kind of engagement with schools. They're very much more involved with looking at their own kind of family commitments and so on. But what has transpired over the last 6 years that I've been at the school has been a move towards people who are more engaged and families who want to reach into this notion of cultural and scientific capital. So how did I get involved in the Chess in Schools and Communities Network as well? In 2017, the head teacher at the school that I'm really proud and pleased to be part of saw this article in this British newspaper called The Guardian. And it was on that basis, he said to me, well, I think you have a bit of a skill in terms of being able to teach children chess. I was already running a chess club, as some of you might be familiar with at the time. And when I explored this idea with him, I showed my colleagues how we could, as Jerry says, bring that, what did Jerry say? That deliberate connection from chess right into the school, heart of the school curriculum. So this is my kind of starting position, as it were. In doing so, what I've said to the children and said to the families and my colleagues is that in creating this display alone, you've already got a whole range of creative links across the curriculum. In doing so, you've explained and explored with the learners the idea of square numbers. You've explained and explored this kind of creative element. I can't remember who it was who showed me the PlayStation video this morning. Yes, sir. So it's that connection, being able to turn chess into a literacy and creative connection. In terms of what Jerry was saying about the 2-hour game concept as well, where I've been teaching chess or where I've been running chess clubs, I time limit it. And in doing so, you then introduce the point system. In introducing the point system, what you've got is that opportunity to really consolidate children's arithmetic skills and being able to work through how an end game would look if you had to stop it at midpoint, as it were. How am I doing for time? Okay. Yeah. But of course, I'm actually here talking about the connection between STEM on a much broader basis with chess. And a perfect example of that is the Knight's Tour example. Because when you think about the Knight's Tour example, what I found with working with children in explaining this is this whole idea in when I'm teaching computer science that we have to problematize or puzzle out a target that we're working on. And in doing so, you've then broken down this problem into much smaller parts. And that's part of the computational thinking pedagogy. You then explain to the children, once you've got that puzzle and pattern, as Jerry was saying, and recognizing that puzzle or pattern, you then apply that puzzle or pattern into a kind of coding concept, which then looks something like this. For those of you who do work in schools, you might be familiar with the format that I'm delivering here. This is a platform called Scratch, where children use it from the age of around 7 or 8, where they're able to then use the colored blocks on the left-hand side to pull in to create an animation. So the children have created the chessboard from earlier. They downloaded or created maybe a graphic of the knight. And in doing so, they then have got the opportunity to think about the Knight's Tour challenge in being able to move that knight right round the board following the Knight's Tour kind of conditions, as it were. So that's how I make that kind of deliberate connection between chess and the curriculum. But one of the specific challenges for schools that many writers about the school system cite is this kind of crowded curriculum. Demands on teaching and learning seems to be an ever-increasing bulk of knowledge given time constraints and tough financial conditions, means that most schools are always looking for ways to innovatively deliver and facilitate learning to maximize enrichment, engagement, and impact on attainment. So hopefully my experiences show that chess makes this a real possibility and opportunity. Thank you for listening.
Right, thank you very much, Alan, for that. It would be fascinating to have delve further into the Scratch programming. There might be a few minutes at the end to ask some questions, but I see that Malcolm Pein has arrived. I wonder, Malcolm, if you'd like to say a few words.
Really after the fact. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm sure the perceptions that you would deliver would be equally important now as
an hour later.
Yeah, apart from anything about London traffic.
Well, I know when I saw the running order. Hello, everyone. I'm Malcolm Pein, the chief executive of the charity Chess in Schools and Communities, and I suppose this is what you call in American television advertising a word from your sponsor. When I first saw the running order, I was a little bit reticent about speaking at all, John, because I've done an awful lot of things in chess. In fact, I've even bred a chess player, and I'm not even the master of my own house anymore, which is a bit of a blow, but he beats me at Blitz. What can I do? But I've done so many things in chess, and one of the things I've done many times has been Magnus Carlsen's warm-up act. And when I saw that Magnus was on the video after me, I thought, oh no, not again. So I decided to arrive a little bit late so that I could just avoid coming before Magnus. I'm speaking on behalf of the charity here. Obviously, we've supported this conference from its very inception. I think that John and I hatched the idea in 2013 with Stefan. Where is Stefan? There he is. To put it next to the London Chess Classic. Sadly, the London Chess Classic isn't happening or didn't happen last year. But I think that in a sense, that's actually quite a good thing, because this conference has developed, it's grown, it's expanded, it's become more influential. It's now that it's got the connection with FIDE, and FIDE and the ECU are working together so well, I feel that actually it's quite fitting that it's no longer just something that's stuck on the end of a chess tournament. It's here in an academic setting. And I think that in a way is more appropriate, and I think that actually that's something that I would hope that we continue to do going forward. Actually, John, whether or not the London Chess Classic happens or not, it's lovely to see so many people here that I don't know, because one of the great things about this conference is, of course, the networking ability, and now it's being, I believe, streamed around. I know that indeed, and it's working. It's actually working, yeah. And although I've only been here for half an hour, actually, I'm already incredibly enthused by what I've seen. And just to sort of comment on each of the presentations that I've actually seen, I thought, Jerry, that one of your key words was this deliberate connection of the benefits of chess within the curriculum. We actually use a different word in the charity, and we sort of say to make them explicit. Which I think is a similar thing, but with a different bent. But it's something that the teachers really like to hear, that the objectives and the connections are explicit. Alexey, your presentation brought to me something. Hi there, you brought something to me, which I said actually when I opened the conference a few years ago, when it was in the Irish Centre. It was probably about 2016, and it's still a problem. And I think it's still an objective, something that we have to work towards. And I know that the ECU Education Commission are working on this, but we have to find a way of bringing all the research together so we can all see it all of the time. Because Alexey, I was absolutely fascinated by that chess engine research that you referred to. Absolutely intrigued. I had no idea about it. Absolutely no idea about it. And I think it's still a problem that on a global level, we still don't have a repository of all the research neatly subdivided. And I was thinking actually on the way here that maybe this was a job for ChatGPT. I don't know if it could be done indeed. I actually wondered, John, whether or not, instead of having me on, we also just open ChatGPT and say, Chat, come up with a speech given by the chief executive of the charity that's sponsoring a chess and academic conference at Roehampton University, and see what it would come up with. I don't know whether it would have come up with something like this.
Can I just say something there? One of our presenters has done all of their slides using AI.
Right.
And you'll see that in the technology section.
Right, and we'll give it a Turing test. Can we tell the difference?
Yeah, we won't need it in a couple of years, Michał.
That's just as well. I just hit my retirement date, and that's it. Can you retire before ChatGPT takes your job? But actually, that's one of the things about chess. I think. I mean, that's one. I don't think ChatGPT is necessarily going to take over chess. So, in the last minute that I've actually got, I just want to thank everyone, of course, for coming. Everything that you do underpins the work that every chess teacher around the world does. And without all of you people here, we'd have no professional development in the charity, we'd have no innovation, no research, and much less advocacy. And so I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you, though, particularly for your work. And I want to emphasize that for as long as I'm involved in chess in schools and communities, we'll be supporting this conference in the years to come. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. So we're about to have our break. I'd like to say that Dana Rezkina-Ozola is going to speak at the end of the conference to give a summary. Yeah, so to give her congratulations on a splendid event. We've got a break now, and you can check back again. And I think we've covered science, and thank you very much, our speakers, fascinating speakers, Jerry, Alan, and Alexey. And our next subject is going to be technology, S-T-E-and-M. That's the structure of the conference. Nice and simple. Okay. Yeah, we come back at what time? 11:45. 11:45.
Hello.
Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
It's very nice. Well, you just
No, thank you for your answer. Let's have a look. We have the ChessKid. We've met before, Carey. Carey, you're the CEO. Yeah. And Carey's going to be doing an excellent session for here.
There's nothing on here. You have to pass them on to this.
I've got them on here. Yeah. No, we have to find swojego raczej nie, bo to pokazuje, a co jak to będzie to samo tak jak ChessKid. Trzeba odbierać raz, tak? Będziemy pierwszy zrobimy Okay. We'll get everything. We'll have everything. We'll do ChessKid and then we'll make sure we
I think it's all like that.
So this is
technology, use Zoom and other media in order to keep delivering chess. And of course, the training for teachers who use chess in the classroom also went massively online, rather when there were no more training courses in person possible. Such aspects as these will be covered in this session, but also in the end we go in a little bit into the realm of social media. So it's quite an exciting session, I think, for our field. And our first speakers are coming from the company ChessKid, the biggest company in chess and education, I dare say. And ChessKid is belongs to the chess.com empire. And it's a big pleasure to have Carey, the corporate executive of ChessKid, with us, and Mike Klein. Mike Klein has been a veteran of teaching chess, of ChessKid. He's also sometimes a journalist like myself still. And so we have two real big shots from ChessKid. Please start your presentation.
Great, thanks, Stefan. First of all, I want to thank John, Brigitte, and others. If I don't remember your names, I'm sorry, but I'd like to thank you for having us here today. My name is Carey, and first I want to say that chess is a waste of time. At least according to George Bernard Shaw, award-winning playwright, who says, chess is a foolish expedient for making idle people believe they are doing something very clever when they are actually only wasting their time. Luckily for us, for all of you here, we know that's not true. This is Tani Adewumi. Many of you know the story of Tani. Tani's family fled from Africa to the United States to escape political oppression and violence from Boko Haram. When Tani was 8 years old, he won the New York State Chess Championship. But what makes this very interesting is Tani was homeless. Okay, so for a homeless child to win such an extraordinary event, the news went viral. It got picked up by the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, BBC, and media outlets around the world. He's 12 years old now, and he's well on his way to becoming a grandmaster. But were it not for chess, Tani might never have gotten his chance. Now, Tani's story is exceptional. And for every Tani, there are thousands of kids who will never become chess masters, will never even become competitive chess players necessarily. But for those kids who are lucky enough to have access to chess, whether it's through chess sets or technology, they can still take advantage of this beautiful game we have and still get many of its benefits: critical thinking, strategy, mathematics, sportsmanship. And let me share you one more example. This is Tunde Anakoya. Now, Tunde Anakoya runs an organization called Chess in Slums in Africa. Now, Tunde, his thesis was that chess could be used as a way to keep kids off the streets, to keep them productive. He started with 30 kids, and now his vision has spread across Africa to thousands of kids. Many of his kids have gotten full academic scholarships, full support. Chess clearly is not a waste of time. So what makes it possible for Tani and other school organizations and Chess in Slums to have these breakthroughs? Well, we believe the most important reason is access. Just access to be able to play the game of chess, whether it's through chess sets or technology, and whether it might be other educational resources. Like these are some of the resources that our esteemed colleague, Dr. Alexey has put together. But it's these resources that make these breakthroughs possible. And a critically underestimated ingredient of helping to make chess grow is really fun. The fun element cannot be cannot be overestimated. It's really, if the kid has a good first experience with the game of chess, they're much more likely to carry on with chess into their adulthood. Even if they stay dormant, even if they pick up chess, they're dormant for a few years and they pick it up in adulthood, there's a chance that it becomes a lifetime hobby if they have a good first experience with it. So fortunately for us, as many of you know, consumer chess is booming. It's huge right now. Okay? Chess.com fairly recently announced that they had eclipsed 100 million users on their site, which is crazy. Okay? And even for ChessKid in 2016, we had fewer than 1 million kids on the site and maybe 7,000 daily active users. But right now, today, we have over 8.5 million kids on the site and 50,000 daily active users. So that's great that consumer chess has grown so quickly. So clearly the time is now to help grow chess. But at times, growth of chess in schools has felt quite painful. And we're trying to answer the questions as to why this is happening. Well, I contend that there are 3 critical questions that all of us need to think about and that we all need to come up with the answers for. And the first is chess actually a viable educational tool? The next question is, how do educators actually make the time for chess during the normal school day? They are so busy with things. How do they actually make the time for it? And the third question is, how do we give teachers who have no knowledge of the game the confidence to actually teach the game? To explain more on this, I will turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Chief Chess Officer for ChessKid, Mike Klein.
Thanks very much, Carey. A lot of you guys know the digital me. I'm sorry you're getting the analog me today. I'm not quite as exciting, but nonetheless, here we are. I'm actually going to start with a curveball that I wasn't planning on talking about because it came up at Jerry's really cogent, really well thought out presentation. He was talking about the scientific method, and I'm going to give you a story that actually happened, and this is totally truthful. When I was about 16 years old, I went to an overnight school field trip, had nothing to do with chess. We stayed at a hotel, and I was in my hotel room with 3 of my high school friends, not chess players, and I wanted to get a Coca-Cola. So I opened my door 10 minutes past curfew just to go get a Coke. Totally benign activity. And I heard this crack, and I realized that our chaperone had put tape on the outside of all of our doors. So if we opened it, it broke the tape. And I thought, here we go. I'm going to get in trouble for getting a Coca-Cola. So I went and sat down on the bed. One of my friends looks at me and he says, Mike, you're the chess player. Figure it out. And I started coming up. I didn't know it. I didn't know the game of chess made me do that. Started thinking hypotheses and materials. And I thought, well, do I call the bellhop and have him come up? No, he'll tell on me. Do I order a pizza? Now, where do I get the money for pizza? How does the pizza guy have new tape, right? So some of you in your heads might be thinking about like different ideas. I was too. Which one has the best chance of success? Then it occurred to me, I could go out in the hallway and break everyone's tape. And that's what I did. And I can tell you, I didn't get in trouble. In fact, our chaperone came up the next morning and said, I'm not even going to try to figure out who did it. Congratulations, but tonight I'm putting an adult in the hallway, so you can't do it again. So totally truthful. I didn't know I was using the scientific method, but that's kind of what chess teaches you to be able to do. So we hope to answer all of these questions through ChessKid. So one of the biggest challenges we have is when we want to grow in an entire school or entire school system, how do we do it? And I thought there would be, when I started trying to grow ChessKid and chess, I thought there'd be one template for how to do it. And we've realized all over the world that there's different ways to get chess in the educational system that we're talking about. Sometimes it's the Federation, sometimes it's the Ministry of Education, sometimes it's a really well-connected chess coach in a country. But this is one that Carey and I did. Orange County Public Schools is in Orlando, Florida. They've got about 200,000 kids, so that's about a top 10 school system in the US as far as size. And what we did was they already had a sort of loose-knit desire to teach chess in all of their schools. Interestingly, their chess program was in their minority affairs department. That's actually where they couched it because they thought chess was a leveler of education. So we were able to go down there, give demonstrations, and it took a couple of years, but we were finally able to make a deal with them to give ChessKid to every single one of their kids. And one of the things they like too is that transportation is also very expensive. So they're able to have all of these school versus school events without all of the money. I mean, their transportation costs went from many thousands of dollars to zero when they want to have school versus school events like this. So one of the other big things too about ChessKid, and you can see there, we've got just different bullet points on what kind of we offer, but whatever kind of chess program you're trying to run, you want it to be sustainable. You don't want it to last just 1 year or 2 years. So first is like getting going, right? We all feel great and we go, oh, this country's now doing chess and education. But in order to keep it going, you always need data. And one thing that ChessKid provides is that since every kid is using his or her own account, at the end of the year, you'll be able to go back to your Ministry of Education or your private benefactor or whoever wants to see the data and be able to say, yeah, you know what? We had 37,000 kids that got to this level of ChessKid, and that proves they can play a legal game. Because on ChessKid, we might actually show this in just a minute, you actually have to watch a video and pass the lesson. We don't like to use the word test because we're trying to make it fun, but you have to pass the lesson to be able to move on. So instead of just saying, yeah, you know, this teacher taught in front of 20 kids, we can actually prove those 20 kids can play a legal game. And the site gives you all of that data. Also, it doesn't hurt when you have these gaudy numbers like 500,000 puzzles were solved in a month. That's something that Orange County Public Schools loves telling their Board of Education because the numbers are just so big. So Armenia was kind of our godfathers here. They were the first to have chess in the schools. And over the years, we've been branching out to different countries. So for example, I've just listed a few. With Lithuania, we have a well-connected chess coach, and he's helping us grow in Lithuania. In Georgia, the Republic of Georgia, I was born in Georgia, but the other one. The less important Georgia in the chess world. So in Georgia, I've had some meetings with the Ministry of Education and the Federation. They're actually working together. In Greece, it's a combination of a well-connected coach and the Federation. And we've actually been doing a lot of things in Latin America. So we actually just made a deal in Puerto Rico. There's going to be about 1,500 kids that learn chess. There's going to be 125 teachers that are taught how to play chess. And we're doing that through the Puerto Rican Chess Federation. So different countries, or Puerto Rico is not a country, but that's a different story. I know American imperialism doesn't have a very good mood in this room, but in any case, there's no right or wrong answer. We have found that there's different people that you have to connect with to be able to introduce this idea. So Bolivia is very interesting because we just signed an agreement with the Minister of Education, so the actual federal government, and they're going to be supplying ChessKid to more than 100,000 kids. And their goal is, because they're one of the more impoverished countries of South America, they are hoping that chess improves the overall quality of education that the kids get, and they're actually hoping chess can lift kids out of poverty. Now, that's a heavy lift, no pun intended. I certainly don't go to countries saying that chess is going to improve your GDP, but they came up with that idea, and they need ChessKid because they don't have enough qualified chess teachers to be able to get to more than 100,000 kids. So we're hoping for good things in Bolivia. And I think, you know, these countries just keep popping up on our radar, and we are very happy to be the backbone of any of these sort of research studies or longitudinal ideas that the countries have. So one of our biggest tools is our classroom lesson planner. So chess actually, let me just see how much time I had here. We always say that chess suffers from its own stereotype. So the greater public, they often know, oh, chess, that's something that makes you intelligent, right? But then the regular classroom teacher also can be intimidated. They think teaching chess is like teaching Mandarin or something like this. So we've got a 30-week classroom lesson planner that basically tells the teacher on day one, do this. It's going to teach the kids this educational idea. Then when you get the chess sets out, do this. And I don't know, are we going to show that a little bit here? Or?
You want to show that now?
No, let's do one of our videos maybe.
Okay.
So in a typical week one, a teacher...
Are you wondering why chess is more exciting than checkers? Well, for one thing, some of the chess pieces can move a lot farther than they can in checkers. Today, you get to be a rook. But wait a minute, I want to be a fireman. Okay, you can be a fireman later in life, but today, I just want you to be a rook. The rook can move in 4 different directions. The rook can go up. The rook can go down. The rook can go left. The rook can go right. And for any of you kids out there
watching a video, you then are assessed on what.
The rook wants to zoom to the other side of the board. Can you find a way to send the rook on D1 to the 8th rank?
We also voice the lessons for kids that are not yet literate. So then when the child inputs the answer, the neat thing is if the child inputs the wrong answer, we actually...
Oops! The rook is trying to go all the way to the top of the board. Move him all the way up to D8. The rook wants to zoom to the other side of the... Great job! The rook bolts all the way from the 1st rank and lands on the 8th rank in a single move.
Can't complain too much. And we have this translated into many different languages. You've got about 12 languages. When Madalena completes Romanian, we'll have 13. And we want kids to be able to learn in their native language. Some people have told us that their kids are learning English through ChessKid. Wasn't our goal, but sometimes it does happen. Of course, you can also caption the videos. But only when a child gets the questions right is he or she allowed to move on. So it's very easy for an educator afterward to be able to look at what level every kid is on. Also, I don't know about you, but I taught chess in the classroom for like 15 years. And one of the hardest things is when you have 20 kids and some are up here and some are down here. And when every kid is on his or her own account, they can actually learn at their own pace, which made my job a lot easier when I was actually working in the classroom. So, okay. We've also got chess bots in order to make it fun. Maybe some of you played the Mittens bot on chess.com. That almost crashed our website. But we've also got different chess personalities, and I also recognize that I have one.
I've been playing chess for almost 3
Okay,
years
so that's
now.
the 8-year-old me, and that's not my voice. We had to hire a childhood actor. We've also got a lot of female bots because I recognize that women.
Hola, hola, empecemos a jugar.
That's Yvette Garcia. She runs our Espanol program. But, you know, girls need female role models. So, interestingly...
Hola, hola, empecemos a jugar.
Yeah, she should not interrupt me. But what I was saying is that when it comes to different languages, kids are learning on our site, and the bots even talk back to you, and it's kind of a very fun experience.
E4 es lo que mi primer entrenador me
I think you said I'm
enseñó.
a great boss, but my Spanish is very rusty, very rusty. Okay, so we keep on adding more bots, which makes it quite fun. So, you want to go back to the slideshow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me gusta mucho esta posición.
She's talking about
It's very because she keeps talking.
Yeah, she keeps talking.
Yeah, we programmed it that way.
Switch back on. Turn off the web page. We don't know use the again.
Sorry, there's a whole bunch of. I got it.
So ChessKid, basically, we've also kind of figured out that we are a chameleon website, which means if you're a professional chess teacher and you just need an additional tool for your kids to play in between your lessons, we can be that. But also, if you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of professional instructors, we can do the heavy lifting when it comes to the teaching. And we can also train the teachers by using our classroom lesson planner. I can assure you that when we make these partnerships and deals with countries around the world, we are not just saying, here's the website. We're meeting with their teachers. We're showing them how the website works. We're checking up on them. And we're making sure that they have the tools that they need. Because no chess program is just one-stop shopping. Every different program has individualized needs. Yeah, this is sort of my elevator pitch. So when I was growing up, and maybe many of you, I got art education once a week. And I got music education once a week. And there's no parent in the world that ever challenged why their kid is learning art or music. And I don't know of any parents that ask the principal for a research study on why art or music. It's just, at some point in the past, in the 1950s, I don't know when, art teachers and music teachers had a conference like this. They did, and they figured it out. And now they're in. And once you're in, you don't tend to get booted out. And I want chess to be as accepted as those activities, and in certain parts of the world it's happening, but we're winning sort of one country, one city, one area at a time, and we just want to give you what you need to win your own battle, whether your battle is worldwide or in your own little school or one city, whatever. And so that's what we try to do on ChessKid. So If you have any questions, yeah, we had to put Levy up there because like he's done more to grow chess than I ever will. But we're very happy to talk to you about what ChessKid can do for you, whether it's our data or our safety measures. Some people just use us for our puzzles. Like you can use just one little aspect of our site, but also we can literally grow the culture. And when we do that, it helps everybody. We have a lot of people here that are chess book authors. The more chess players are, the more books are going to be sold, right? There are people that make chess blocks. They're going to benefit. So we want the entire world to grow. And when the pandemic happened and we saw how many more chess players there were, that was always our hypothesis. And so we don't want another disease to make it happen. We want an actual good product. So we look forward to talking with you. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for this presentation. There will be a little time for questions at the end of the session. And so we move on to our next speaker. And you've already heard a little bit of Spanish in this presentation. And our next speaker is from Spain. It's Pep Suárez. And he's a psychologist. And he started a company. And this company has also a partner. And his partner, Frank Otero, is also with us. And the two of them have also a stall upstairs, and their company is called ChessForEdu, an international name. Maybe there's also international ambition. I know that Pep is also not only active in Spain, but also in the Spanish language area in virtually all of Latin America. And as you are getting ready, Pep, yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is the. Let me see. Sorry. Let me see here my notes. What is it? Okay. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, John. Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you, all the people from this fantastic conference. Thank you very much. Okay, let's start. This is. This one? This one? Oh no, this. There.
Creativity. Creativity, synthesis, imagination, analysis, mood improvement. The benefit that chess brings to the education of the youngest is a proven fact around the world. Discover our new educational platform for teachers and students, ChessAble, created by ChessForEdu, where students will find a multitude of mini-games, chess variants, logic and mathematics, and teachers, a tool that will help orderly, controlled, and supervised teaching. In addition, thanks to the automatic preparation of its own reports, it helps to detect possible areas for improvement and, therefore, work accordingly to improve them. ChessAble from ChessForEdu, Chess for Education.
Well, this is our presentation, the presentation. This is a video that we're doing to present around the world. So, come on. What is our mission with this new company, ChessForEdu? And this is very important to clarify. Help teachers to use chess in the classroom. Help teachers. Because yesterday, and now the other company, the people that told before us, the teachers don't have a lot of time. And the first time that when you come to the school and talk about use chess for the teacher, they thinking, first of all, it's very complicated. I don't know if I got the level to show everything. So we can do three different aspects in our platform, to help the teacher to use chess like a tool for education. And this is very important. This is not a platform or APP for play chess. No. This is not an APP or platform that you can play at your home. No. This is for primary school, for secondary school. This is a tool for education. This is a tool for education. And what can we do? First of all, we can make a formative programs with chess and minigames. Chess and minigames. And we training the teachers to use this educational tool, not just to teach them how to play chess. Not. They are different methodologies, yeah, different APPs, yeah, different programs. We want that they believe that the chess is a fantastic tool to working in the school in different areas. Later, we showed them our platform. Our platform then take time to them, take time, and this is very, very important. And because in our platform, one moment you is absolutely automatic everything. And later, one that I think in my little investigation never do before, this teacher receives reports, automatic reports about psychology's motives like anxiety, like depression, like motivation, like concentration, anonymous, and later you can see. Well, how we are, I think I am Pep Suárez, but I think a lot of you, we are friends. So I am a PhD in psychology. I am working for the Spanish Federation for a long time. And I am also a member of the ECU Education. The other person is Fran Otero. Please, Fran. This is Fran. This is my partner. This is industrial engineer. And I think it is very interesting. And I think here in this Congress is a sample that working together engineering and psychology and pedagogy. I think it is very, very interesting. We start together to working 3 years ago. This is the result, and you can see now. What we do? First of all, we make an analysis of the situation in this community, this town hall, this community, you know. When we see what happened, later we make a formative plan. Formative plan for the teachers, Our first experience was in Balearic Island. Here, I don't know where it is, there is Maria Luisa Viver. This is the working from the government of Islas Baleares. She was the responsibility from our program that we do in Islas Baleares for a long time. And every time we are go up. Now we are working, like say, Stefan, we are working in Comunidad de Madrid, we are working in Galicia, we are working in Canarias, and also in Panama, Costa Rica, Mexico. And now in May, we're going to Santo Domingo to implementing also our platform there. Also important, my good friend Walter, that is here also, we are implementing in Germany our platform. We make a formative plan after make an analysis to what happened in this community, what happened in this country. And later make the implementation of our platform. So first, analysis the situation. Second, make a formative plan for these teachers that later use our platform to teach not just chess, to teach some variants of chess that got an important and specific purposes, not just to play for fun. Also fun is very important, we know. But every single mini game or creative task got a very clear idea what we want to do. And of course, and this is very important, later we need the feedback for the teachers. We need the feedback, what is wrong. Tomorrow we're talking about what is wrong, what is a mistake, what can lead for our mistakes. And now here today we present the second version of our platform. No? This is the first time that we saw around the world. Of course, later when we got this feedback, we take different questions, different message, different suggestions from the teachers and come again. What you get for a teacher, for example, this is something very interesting. When you go to the platform, you got, for example, here is 64 different minigames. 64 different minigames. But you can filter, for example, for the first cycle, second cycle, or third cycle. We say in Spanish, first cycle is C7, second cycle is 8, 9, and third cycle is 10. Okay, but also you can filter in your classroom. You can divide the classroom. Well, these people play just the mini games for calculation, or maybe for creativity, or maybe for logic, or maybe for spatial vision, or maybe for memory, or maybe for perception. Because any mini games, all the mini games have this task, you know? And we are looking for that any mini game got important objective. What is important for teachers? Then they don't have to do a lot of time. They put the students in the classroom and they have time for different things. Okay, it's important because, you know, we told yesterday and today, teachers don't have a lot of time. This is a problem, no? So we implementing, and after that we implementing, they got a lot of time. Why? Because the kids, this is also important for our platform, play in a secure environment. And this environment will, for example, in Panama, now in some places that they don't got internet, we can implementing also. Implementing with an intranet. With an intranet, we implemented these kinds of programs. And this is important. This is important because they don't go something outside of the platform. You know? As I told you before, one of the most important things is this kind of reports that they got absolutely anonymous because, you know, in Spain, the ley de protección de datos, it's impossible to get some information from the kids. But for example, start with the definition of, for example, in this case, anxiety. You know, what is anxiety? Here you can see a scale for this imaginary people, who 001, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we take automatically then when they play the mini games, no? It's not join the game, and there is a certain insecurity, etc. And this is important because later they can transfer this information to the other activities in the school. This is very, very, for example, in our, we start now in Madrid to take this sun report from some people there, and it's incredible, no? The teacher said, oh, this is fantastic, because this is what we need. This is what we need. What you can find in Carlsen? Well, everything about many information about user motivation for the games. What happened when the children abandon the game? Why are there? Why is that? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no? Sociability, timing, score, ranking. Well, some sample that everybody knows. I think 3 games against a horde. This one also, but this is also fantastic game. Mini game is Silverman game with this really fantastic for people. One that I think it is incredible. I like it so much. This one, you can give mate to the black, but the pawn, if the pawn go to the first line, winning, no? Very easy, but also this kind of mini games that got a mathematical solution is very interesting for people. One of the most beautiful mini games that I like it, and it's impossible to play in a board because there are 3 kings, good kings, and 3 kings, bad kings. One of the good kings can arrive at the end, you know, and it's very interesting how we implement it in the barrel. 21. Let me show you this video. How this is a demo of our platform, and now to pupil play the mini game of 21. Everybody know 21. 21, you just capture 21 points, but if you pass, you lost. You know, so you can play mini games and also thinking about mathematical. Well, this is our sala for something easy, something challenge. You can do that. And now, for example, they can play this game. People 101 play. The other one take point. For example, now you can see it takes. Look at here. This is the point. Oh, first point for white. You know, first point for white. Take. Yes. Well, I don't have much more time. Let's do this. This is 8 queens. This. Well, 1 point, after 21, for example, 8 queens. Everybody knows this one. Put 8 queens in a board, you know. They help to try to do that. For example, we got mini games that you can play single, but also we can play mini games with 2 persons. Or then this is very, very interesting with a group of persons. You know, 3 people against 3 people. This is very interesting at the school. Okay. Can I pass? Okay. No, because I don't have almost time. And I want to go to. No? Well, okay. Thank you very much. We are stay here. If any one of yours want to see the platform in detail, we stay here and we can show you the platform and everything. And also, I want to tell you something. Monday, you got in the papers. We make an international presentation here soon at 5:30 of our platform. If you want to subscribe to this conference this Monday. So fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pep. And so far we have heard from providers of education for kids, digitally, for teachers who teach kids. And now we are moving to an actual teacher. And Boris Bruhn, compatriot of mine from Germany, some of you know that he was involved in the German Chess Federation, but that's the past. He's actually really a full-time teacher at a school in Hamburg, and he still is one of the best teachers in training teachers who teach chess. He's an excellent teacher trainer, and he still teaches trainers in his hometown of Hamburg on how to use chess in the classroom. And he brings all of it down to what technology really means for teachers. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Stefan, for raising the bar for me. So this is the presentation, right? Okay, so very well welcome from me. We will start with the agenda. We will have a very short introduction, so I have more time for you to talk about the crucials. Then you get to know Dirk. I will later on talk about Dirk. Then we will talk about drawbacks and learnings. We will share, and you will hopefully share some happy moments during this presentation, and then we'll have a summary. So what is this all about? I will talk about some large interactive screens. I will talk about digital devices, and I will talk about software. And we were talking about science today, so I will go for an inductive approach. Yeah, so that everybody who's working on science knows what we're talking about. So you get to know Dirk. This is Dirk. Yeah, Dirk is a teacher in his mid-30s, colleague of mine. Dirk is a teacher, and he teaches at a socially deprived area. In a school in a socially deprived area. His subjects are vocational subjects in German, and Dirk is open to new technologies. So he's perfect for us. This means he discovered chess during the pandemic. He has learned the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. He's a subscriber of Joscha Iglesias, Joscha Ishak, you maybe know. And Dirk is open to chess. Yeah, so all of the sudden, We will follow him in the first weeks of the new school year and see what he experiences and how he handles it. Dirk goes to his first lesson with 10 chessboards in his huge bag. Some of them were pink, some burgundy, some blue, some brown, some green. Not the typical black and white, because chess is colorful, not only black and white. But before we delve into how technology can be used in the classroom, it is important to understand that schools usually have already chosen their primary technology platform. They either go for Google and Chromebooks, or they go for Microsoft Surface, or they go for Apple and iPad. At Dirk's school, it's like this: every kid has an iPad. The large interactive board on the wall is driven on Android, and he only got a Windows computer. So it's confusing, as you know. So let's start with an introduction, he says. So this large, you got an impression where we are. Yeah? We're in the classroom with Dirk, and we experience what he experiences. So we went into the classroom, finding an interactive board like this, yeah. And he says, yeah, this is our new Arctic board, yeah, and at the beginning of the school year. And there's the first hurdle that you can imagine. The power cord of the new board hanging in the middle of the class does not reach the nearest outlet. So it's switched off, it cannot be switched on. He has to contact the caretaker to bring an extension because he cannot bring his own extension for fire safety reasons. Yeah, at least in German schools. I don't know about your schools, but they are normally really strict to bring their own things. So the board is now working, and he successfully connected his laptop with HDMI cable to the board, linked them through the control panel. A minor hurdle is to press Fn F5. Yeah, Fn plus F5. You need to know this to duplicate the screen. Yeah. So this is what he experiences. Now that everyone is listening to me, you can take out your mobile phones, because we will need them later on. Yeah, if you have a QR code scanner, you maybe need it to experience all that I'm talking about. And whilst you're tagging out your mobile phones, I can talk some more. So he's standing there now. The board works, and he wants to get access to his Lichess account. Yeah, so it goes to the website of Lichess, and he wants to log in. Yeah, and then disappeared. Yeah, page is blocked. Time for kids. Yeah, typical situation for him. Dirk tries to log in and says, paragraph 37 of GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, says this is for gambling. This is a dangerous homepage. You cannot get access to this in our school. So it's blocked. And the same is for the kids. Yeah? If they want to have their devices and they want to log in Lichess, they simply can't. First, he has to go to the administrator and get it on the whitelist. Yeah, then it's possible. But Dirk is creative. Yeah, he wanted to show something. He logged into the logicboard.com page, which is for whatever reason not blocked. So he's lucky. And now, if you like to, whilst I'm talking, you can log into my Logic Board account, and we can try some out. Yeah. While I'm talking, you can see that it's very fast to have a digital device for teaching chess, because you can simply copy it. So I can check out who's already visiting me, which is Carey, welcome. John, welcome. Yeah, welcome to my board. Ansel, you're pretty welcome. And now what I can do here on this logic board is that I can have breakout boards. First, now you can have it here. And now I can have breakout boards, 13, one per board. We will have 14 divided by 7. Math teacher, I'm math teacher, must be 7. Impressive, isn't it? Okay, so some of you can now join the breakout board. Some of you will be 2 or 3, and then you can a little gamble until I close it. Yes, so we don't want to gamble here for a longer time. But now you can meet people there in this breakout board, and you don't have to register. Yeah, you simply just go for the QR code. Very, very compliant, very good, very convenient as far as I know. So more of 2/3 of Dirk's class, the 21 kids, they already know the rules of chess. So he's happy because now he can explain things in the classroom for the next 20 minutes, which is the age of the children multiplied by 2. Yeah. So they were 10 years old, they can get 20 minutes attention. Yeah, that's normally. But now there's another problem. A girl in his class called Miriam calls out that she is, my battery is dead and I don't have a charger. Yeah. So apparently she cannot use her iPad for the chess lesson now. And another kid, which is called Abdu, cannot figure out the QR code here on the wall because he only sees himself. Yeah. So this kid can be helped by turning the camera so we can try it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So everybody get an impression what happened here? Yeah. So I can close the breakout boards again, so that I have your undivided attention again. Yeah. But you can try it out later on, and you can ask me about this if you like to. So there's one rule of thumb that's very important that I mentioned now. That is, if whenever a technical issue will last, then takes more than 3 minutes, yeah, then it should be left out of class, yeah, because it will take so much precious time in the classroom that it's not worth it. So here again, technical issues should be, and organization should be out of the classroom because it will take so much time. So now that we have seen a very small part of what is possible with technology in the classroom, I think we need to change direction. Dirk, in this case, Dirk, you know Dirk, the teacher in his mid-30s, vocational and German. He's wondering what he wants to achieve by using technology in the lesson and how it can enrich the learning process. So it is a more general, nevertheless important question. To do this, he looks at the reality of the lives of children and adolescents in Europe, and this edition is important, and what needs to be avoided when using technology. So, on the one hand, mobile phones have become a part of our lives. Yeah, apparently. And screens are all over. 3 in this room, if you have mentioned it, 1, 2, 3. And the old chess game can create something for a certain time that some other people will perceive as a blessing. Human actions without technology. The ability to tackle a problem without Siri or Google or Bixby or ChatGPT. So what can chess provide us without technology perhaps is this one here. I can put it on the screen. This was my plan. It is critical thinking. Yeah. So you may already pointed out what this will lead us to. So Dirk is also wondering if you can take them a step much further. In his lessons, children can play with the iPad. That's not the main problem. Yeah, they can do it. But it's a good chess lesson. It's a variety of all these learning channels, yeah, as you may experience. So some days they will like to use the iPad. On other days they will go for the chessboard. On other days they will go for only exercises on a worksheet with pen and paper. Yeah. So variety is something I want you to take home here. So his goals. Human interaction is possible without technology. In his school, there is a new thing in fashion. It's fashion to have personalized and individualized learning. Yeah. So this means Dirk and the teachers there, they're raving because all the kids are sitting there, headphones on, concentrated on the task, and it's so quiet and it's so easy. Yeah. Yet it is. yet it is the collaborative spaces in his school. Yeah, these are the spaces where most of the learning will take place. Yeah, from each other, from the peers, in conversation and in direct exchange. So, pretty important is not only to have these, yeah, but pretty important besides critical thinking is another thing that I would call communication. Yeah, that's where interaction with others or collaboration, if you like to. I will put them here. So ultimately, he asked himself: he's actually offering this. Why is he offering a chess lesson? Yeah, why are you going to the classroom and go for the chess lesson? And it's not like this that he goes for this one. He wants the children to learn without realizing it. Yeah, in a way, they learn and they do it, but they do it in a collaboration form. So they collaborate with each other in the classroom. And now I will skip some of my slides that you can most definitely see on the internet later on. We will talk about socialization and education. That's what we're talking about. Yeah? And the people are important in the classroom. This is my point. And you have to know the limits. The feedback of the teachers are incredibly important to the children, that they can get better in things. That's incredibly important. They need to have playtime to. And you have to think about cost. Not every school can afford a kid to have a device on its own. And you have to think about another thing, that is accessibility. Yeah, not all my fifth graders know how to use an iPad. So you need some boards and some demo boards, and you need some physical things in your classroom. Okay, every child should have a scientific achievement in once in every chess lesson. And you have some curriculum links. This will be my final. The curriculum links, for example, art. Yeah, you can see connection to almost every subject, and here is art. And you saw all these eye-catching pictures I put on this. Yeah, you saw them, and you know what ChatGPT. Now get to know DALL-E 2. DALL-E 2 is an artificial intelligence that puts images from a description in natural language. The better the description, the better the picture. And this is what you can do. Yeah, they even do AdWords with this one. Yeah, their advertisement is on ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay. Then I can sum it up, because you can check my Dropbox if you want to for software recommendation. Yeah, as we had already two presentations, I don't need to show something else, but you can drop into my Dropbox and get a recommendation letter for the parents, because this is what Dirk does in his school. He says, look up here, I checked out here 5 softwares, 5 vendors, and I like them, and you can go for it. Yeah. So my summary is, technology in the classroom is useful in the classroom when it facilitates the task of the teacher and the learner while promoting the 4 future skills. Done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Boris, for this very neat presentation from a teacher's perspective and from for change. We are now leaving the classroom to another place where children and young people learn nowadays. It's social media, it's the internet, it's not so much Twitter in their case, not so much anymore Facebook, but we are hearing now about something that a lot of us, especially those of us who are like me, above 50, have difficulty to find TikTok. And a word about Michał Kanarkiewicz is from Poland. He's in Warsaw. He's an organizer and promoter of chess. Mainly, he's also a chess coach, but mainly he wants to spread the word. He's an evangelist of chess, and I think TikTok is going in this direction. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John, Brigitta, and Agnieszka for inviting me there. Thank you very much. So all you need to know about TikTok is, first of all, you need decent phone and microphone. So it's you know, a good news. Only decent phone and microphone. It costs like 50 euros for an external microphone. And second thing, free apps, TikTok and CapCut to edit your videos. Because you know, TikTok is a very trendy platform, and I think basically in the general worldwide, we need to appreciate more TikTok to, you know, to get the attention from especially Gen Z. I would like to start with showing you 3 examples of my TikToks that I recently created. The first one will be in English with Nick Vujicic, 13 million plus reach worldwide. No arms, no legs, but play chess. So please watch.
Can I tell you, Michał, how honored I am to meet you, and I love you. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be with you today and talk and play chess as well.
This is my favorite interview in the world.
How did you get into chess?
You know, my dad always said that you have no arms and legs, but use your brain. And so he said, you're smart. And so excel in mathematics.
Perfect.
And I couldn't actually like athletically compete. And so, but I could compete in chess, of course. Yeah.
Almost.
Shoot!
Almost.
Man, that was so good! That was so good!
On C1, yeah.
Man, you're amazing! Good job!
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun!
So, Nick Vujicic, 13 million plus reach worldwide. And the second video is very close to my heart because, you know, there's a war in Ukraine, and in Poland we have 3 million plus refugees from Ukraine. And in this group, we have also chess players. So one of them is Kirilo Nedzhnetev, 2-time under 10 Ukrainian chess champion. And 3 weeks ago, there was an event in Warsaw with top talents from Ukraine. And we decided to record a short video with Kirilo to increase awareness of him. So let's watch it. It's in Polish, but I think you will get the point.
Zobaczymy, czy pokonam dwukrotnego mistrza Ukrainy do lat 10. Gramy na 30 sekund. Powodzenia, Kirill. Let's go. A, zmianka! Jaki bohater. Co ja zagrałem? No nie, no come on, co to była za parodia szachów. Dobra, ale przynajmniej mam otwartą linię, powiedzmy, jakaś pseudo-otwarta linia. Dobra, tak. Co za parodia szachów w ogóle to była? Tu! Bam! I konterka! A! Zbiję. Tak? Dzięki. Zaczęło się beznadziejnie, ale wygrałem.
Ultra Bullet 30 seconds game. The main point is this video already got more than 350k views on my TikTok account, and it helped increasing the awareness of Kirilo in Poland. So, you know, this video was exactly recorded only with iPhone by manager of Jan Krzysztof Duda, because Jan Krzysztof Duda also supports Kirilo in Poland. And, you know, we added these subtitles with a free app called CapCut, and that's all. Nothing else. You need to create TikToks. And the last one, because I really believe that if we want to change chess marketing worldwide, we need to change the tools. So the last video will be with Prawo Marcina. He's a Polish lawyer, the most popular TikToker in Poland 2022. So I asked Marcin, you know, to meet and play chess because, you know, he's an amateur, but his reach 2+ million in Poland is pretty good. So
jak pokonać szachowego noba w 4 ruchy?
Gramy pionkiem na E4, czarny grają pionkiem na E5, my wprowadzamy gońcem na C4, żeby zaatakować punkt na F7. Powiedzmy, że czarny grają tutaj skoczkiem na C6, my wprowadzamy hetmana na H5 i powiedzmy, załóżmy, że teraz czarne się pomylą i nie zauważą tego ataku na F7.
No właśnie.
No i czarny grają tutaj skoczkiem na F6 i my co wtedy robimy? No gramy hetmana z pola H5 na pole F7, szach, mat.
No, czyli królowa może czasem pokonać króla.
Why am I showing you this? Because it's a new way how to get the attention. I know that ChessKid, you do it very well because, for instance, there's a bot called Luka Doncic, NBA superstar. It was a great move, you know, how to get the attention. And that's what I do with my resources in Poland. I'm trying to get the attention by collaborating with the most popular TikTokers and influencers in general in Poland. And I think you can do it as well in your countries. That's why I'm showing you this. My name is Michał Kanarkiewicz, and let me give you a short, briefly background about me. I'm a chess player and strategic advisor for corporate clients. I'm the author of 7 books, including Polish bestseller Strategies of Chess Masters in Business. Strategic advisor, chess player, also counselor of the ECU Media and Communication Commission. In 2020, I drew in a single game with the 12th world chess champion Anatoly Karpov. I teach strategic thinking and strategy for chess. TikTok, 150K plus followers, and I run my own TV show called The Royal Game in Polish, Królewska Gra, on Kanał Sportowy, the biggest sports channel in Poland. TikTok is all about vertical videos. So you need to remember that TikTok is about vertical videos. About me ending this short introduction, there are some pictures in which you can see what I do on a daily basis. I was also in charge of marketing during FIDE Rapid and Blitz in Poland World Championships. That's all about me. Let's go further because probably you've watched the TV series, Netflix series, The Queen's Gambit. Who of you did it already? I mean, The Queen's Gambit. Okay, I see almost everyone. I think it's important to watch. If you did not, I really strongly recommend to do this because, you know, there are some statistics we have already after almost 2.5 years. 160%, that was increasing the number of chess players on chess.com in the year from COVID-19. I mean, March 2020 in comparison to March 2021. There's also the Queen's Gambit effect. You can see that in 2020 on chess.com, there was increase of almost 150K new members each day in 2020. Right now it's even faster. Also about the games, you can see that there was a quite huge improvement. Going further, we know that, and Alexey Rudd was talking about the participation gap. Yeah, okay, I can see you right now. Yeah, thank you. So the Queen's Gambit also supported this way, because as you can see, there's a slight shift in who is playing chess online. Before the Queen's Gambit, 2020, 22% women, and right now it's 27 plus. I assume it's close to 30% right now. So the Queen's Gambit effect is really increasing the boom of chess also in terms of this participation gap. So hopefully we'll see next year even better numbers for women. Also, last month, February 2023, we know that more than 1 billion games were played on chess.com, out of which more than 500,000 live games, less than 500,000 against the computer, and the rest daily games. So, you know, it's a very important moment for us in chess. It's even better moment than it was when the Queen's Gambit was released, even better. So right now, in January also on chess.com, there were more than 10 million users daily. So it's another important key factor for us in chess. And I think we need to use this opportunity to even boost our chess marketing. So about the impact of the Queen's Gambit on chess marketing. So more media coverage. Probably you also experienced that in your country, that after the Queen's Gambit was released, there's more media attention in general, because the medias were curious about opinion if the Queen's Gambit is, you know, a good movie or not really in terms of chess. Secondly, then you are getting more new players. So it's called, from my perspective, Bishop, more new players. Then you are getting more new sponsors, in general, sponsorship. And at the end of the day, more money in chess, which we all need to, you know, to boost even further
chess. And TikTok, because right now we are getting to TikTok, is one of the best and cheapest ways to get the sponsor's attention. What is TikTok and how does it work? So mainly, not just dancing and singing. It's all about entertainment, and it has changed over the last few years. Short videos, that's the first thing. And secondly, it's all about the hook. The hook, first 3 seconds of the video. Either you get the attention or you are lost, and you can delete your TikTok because it's useless to post it. Maximum length of the video, 10 minutes officially, but from 8 to 15 seconds per TikTok, I recommend strongly based on my experience, maximum 30, because the better hook, the higher the views, and it's all about making it a very short and I would say compact video to get the attention. Because right now, what measures and what really matters in terms of TikTok is the watch time. So how long you kept your viewer over the whole video. Demographics. What are the demographics and expectations of TikTok users? Most monthly active users, TikTok more than 1 billion. So meaning 3 times more than on Twitter. I know that chess world is mostly about Twitter, but on TikTok you have 1 billion already, and it's getting further and further. In Europe, more than 150 million users right now. Age, based on US statistics, mostly millennials and Gen Z, of course. And average minutes per user, 95 minutes per user every day on TikTok. 8 times per day, it's open. So, it's a great opportunity for us to get the attention. How did I encourage 150K plus Polish people to play chess via TikTok? Start from the end. Think about the final result. How can you get the attention? What is the hook? First 3 seconds. Collaboration with content creators outside the world of chess. Avoid the curse of knowledge and teach your followers everything about chess. How to behave, how to give a checkmate in 2 moves, and so on, blah, blah, blah. And you do it on ChessKid, on chess.com. I know because I follow your content, and I know that you do this. But in general, in chess, we need to avoid the curse of knowledge. Above all, be regular, because TikTok users prefer content creators who are regular. I try to do at least 1 TikTok per day, meaning daily. Challenge. Can anybody create interesting TikTok videos? 3 tips if I were to start all over again, and we are going to the end of my presentation. 83% of TikTok users have posted a video. Think about something that you would watch, really. You would watch. Because almost everyone is creating TikToks. Almost everyone. Start TikTok with, and you have 3 ideas how to hook your audience. How to 3 ways to the fastest way to. In general, this is how medias are working right now on a daily basis. And last but not least, deliver your key message at the very end of your TikTok video. So if you want to give the examples of how to checkmate in 3 moves, you need to deliver the key message at the very end, because then you can keep the attention through the whole video. It's all about hook. And watch that. What are the key takeaways for you from this session? Firstly, TikTok is a trending app. It's all about the hook and the study time, watch time, and start from the end. Think about the final conclusion, what you want to share with your audience. Checkmate, thank you very much. It was my pleasure, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. You can find me everywhere as well as on TikTok. Thank you very much.
1 TikTok a day, give no users away. Thanks, Michał. We have time for 2 questions before we head to lunch. Anybody? Please, Walter.
Why don't you show Lewandowski?
Sorry?
Did you try to?
It's not that easy to get the attention of Robert Lewandowski, but I'm in the contact with his manager. Yeah.
I want to do that.
So that was a question from a football fan from Munich about a former Munich player. You can also ask questions to the former speakers. Two more.
That's for Thomas. Where's Thomas?
Thomas.
Thomas Bruhn.
Oh, Boris. Boris. Yeah.
You were talking about giving the teachers technological tools, but we understand from many of the speakers that there are just not enough teachers. I mean, so there are a few teachers, but in order to expand to other schools, you don't have those teachers over there, right? You cannot give them tools because they don't have the knowledge. You don't have the teachers. How do you overcome that issue in the places where you're involved in Germany with chess?
In Germany, okay. If it's only Germany, then we have this federal state system, and we educate multipliers, And especially, maybe this question is not the right one for me, but for Walter Redler from the German Chess and Schools Foundation, they educate thousands of teachers every year. So it's important to have multipliers that they offer courses to teachers. On the international level, we are now revising the preparation of teachers' courses for FIDE, and we'll have our first course on April 15th and 16th. So it's a bunch of work, we know, and so it's even more important to find the right tools that are suitable for the teachers. Sufficient?
A question for Michał. Hi, thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
Would you know what is the conversion rate from viewers on TikTok to buyers? Because at the end of the day, we are trying to sell something. And would you compare it to YouTube Shorts, for example? Like
yeah, I think so. I think it's a good comparison because YouTube Shorts were, created because of the, the success of TikTok. So it was the same with Instagram Reels.
Yes.
Recently, I can tell you, based on my experience, because I do it very often, that I post TikTok and the same exactly video on YouTube Shorts and as well as on Instagram Reels. So I think it's a good comparison.
But in your idea, what would be the conversion rate to the buyers? Because we understand that TikTok uses maybe kids, and it's great to grow the community for the viewers. At the end of the day, if you're selling something like a product, are they buyers from TikTok?
So I would really recommend to transfer the attention from short video to the. It's well known that you need at least to watch a couple of minutes of a longer video of I don't know, tutorial or any introduction to be sure that you want to spend some money. But the strategy right now, the best strategy that I know is to post. For instance, strategy right now, the best strategy that I know on Instagram Reels to post YouTube Shorts, then write down in the comment or at the end of the video, if you want to know more, please watch the whole video. And then when your potential customer will watch the whole video, I mean the horizontal video, 16:9, so the classical YouTube video, then you can expect him to buy. And it's also, I don't want to go into details too much right now, but it's known that if you want to get the attention of the customer, you need to make him, in general, watch the longer video.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Reminder to all of you, if you have a topic that you want to reach out to others or to make a short presentation, you can book one of the 2 boardrooms at the reception upstairs. And we all go upstairs now in order to have lunch and see you all back at 2 o'clock. Thanks and continue the conversation. Thank you.